Hey, everybody, welcome in. Thank you very much for joining us. It's going to be a great day. It's going to be a great presentation, and it's designed for you and mine. So, welcome in. My name is Matt Alina. I am the manager of the Life Markets team here at URL Insurance Group, and we work very closely with our colleagues over in our Medicare offerings area, our Medicare department, with Christy Wilbert and her team. And we appreciate your partnership. And today's presentation is about you and helping you boost your book. It's boosting your book of business. And today we're going to be talking about mastering the final expense sales for Medicare professionals like yourself. When you're dealing with Medicare clients, one of the easiest add-ons that you can have, it's not easy to sell, but it's a simple add-on. It's a simple product to add to your clients' products is final expense. Just like Medicare is typically designed for seniors in mind, final expense life insurance is designed for that same exact client. Final expense plans, Medicare plans, they're going after the same client. They're going after the same age and demographic. So we're going to show you today how you can boost your business, how you can boost your book of business and make more money. Now, if you aren't familiar with the current state of affairs, the current state of Medicare sales in general, right now you're probably studying, or maybe you just completed your AHIP, which is that annual certification training. But there's so much stuff in Medicare with CMS, so many things that are in flux. Every time there's an administration change in the White House, there's just always changes going on. We thought that last year was going to be a pretty busy year, and it was. And this year seems like it's going to be coming out to being the same thing. But what we're seeing is that there's constant change in CMS regulations. So you've got to stay on top of that. There's constant cuts and there's constant questions about what is going to be compensated and what's not going to be compensated. There's strict marketing guidelines. There's a very small window of enrollment, that AEP, which everybody's getting ready for here very soon. We have AHIP, which is that annual certification training, not to mention the carrier certifications that you have to do. There's usually some market disruption, and there's also some mistrust in the government. So that's the current state of Medicare, where when you're talking about some of the other products that we have to offer, and today I'm going to be biased and I'm going to be talking about life insurance and more specific, final expense. There aren't as many rules and regulations when it comes to life insurance. Advisor compensation is very strong. The market guidelines are very liberal. People can enroll all year long. Once you have your life insurance license, you're good to go. And it's tied. The client is dealing with you. They're dealing directly with the company, and there isn't that government insight. There isn't that interference there. So what is final expense? Final expense is really a product that most of your clients need, and it covers most people, even people with pre-existing medical conditions, people that have had heart attacks, cancers, strokes. They may be diabetic. They may be significantly overweight. A final expense plan really is designed for helping the survivors, the surviving family, cover things as funeral costs or medical bills or income replacement. A lot of times, although we know that we're all going to die at some point, our clients are going to die at some point. We just don't know when. And that when is what catches families off guard. And typically, what happens is because of lack of planning, families are left with financial burdens. Families are stuck with having to pay for those funeral expenses, pay those medical bills. Kids are having to put living expenses for their mom on dipping into their own savings to help mom settle different things, or dad, whoever the surviving spouse is, surviving parent. So now you've got younger you have children who've lost a parent who are now having to take care of the other parent and take care of them financially, where a final expense plan can alleviate some of that stress. Not all of it, but some of that stress. Final expense plans are typically for people who really have never purchased life insurance before, or to cover those unexpected expenses that may be thrown at the family when that person dies. So in the chat, I'm going to ask you if you have an idea, why do insurance companies promote bundling? You can turn on the TV, you can see an advertisement for a home, auto, whatever, and they are always trying to bundle the different things. Is anyone in the chat here today? Do you know why insurance companies promote bundling? So when you turn, they'll say, "Oh, you get a bundling discount," which is really just a gimmick. So insurance companies promote bundling in order to enhance retention, client retention. Insurance companies know that the more lines of business that they have with a client, the chances of them leaving and going somewhere else are very small. Not that it doesn't happen, but it is very small. This is why we're encouraging you to offer other lines. Medicare, final expense, they go hand in hand, something that you should really consider doing. So bundle life insurance, final expense insurance with your Medicare, with the Medicare plan. It's going to promote it's going to promote higher retention for you. It's going to boost your income, your book of business, and it's also um, going to create a client stickiness there. When it comes to Medicare, I'm going to ask you this question: which one are you doing? When it comes to Medicare, clients need to get Medicare. They're forced to get it. Just like if you own a car, you have to have auto insurance. If you own a home, you should have home insurance. When it comes to people that are turning 65 and older, they need to make selections when it comes to their Medicare plan. You can either treat the client as a relationship, or you can treat the client as a transaction. I know people, even in the final expense world, that treat their clients as a transaction. Do you know how harmful that is to their book of business, to their retention? It's awful. And I've also seen it on the Medicare side as well, where it's just a matter of checking a few boxes. The client has the option of doing business with you or doing business with somebody else. I'm hoping that you are built that your business model is built around building relationships. When you're offering other lines of service, other product lines, you're setting yourself up to helping multiple generations as they go along. So I'm going to ask you, which one are you doing? Are you building relationships, or are you just doing a transaction? So final expense sales and where you fit in. With final expense, you have the ability to offer a complete protection plan financially for seniors. You're helping them with their health insurance so that they can see their doctors. They're not going to find that they're not having financial struggles going to the doctor if they need to have a procedure or they have to go to the hospital. It's covered. But you're also giving them that financial peace of mind knowing that when they pass away, when they go, their family is going to have the money to take care of their final expenses. You're helping the seniors avoid leaving their loved ones with a financial burden. I've been in this business for over 25 years, and I have seen families that have where they've lost their loved ones and they've had the life insurance, and they see that person has the life insurance and the family has the money in order to carry out their family members' wishes. On the flip side, I've also seen it where families haven't had the life insurance and they're scrambling. They're setting up a crowdfunding like GoFundMe or some of those other online where they're trying to get donations in order to pay for a $5,000, $7,000 cremation. You have the ability to provide your clients with total peace of mind, and it allows the clients, the family, to focus on the family, not on finances. Help the survivors focus on family, not on finances. One of our favorite radio stations, What's in It for Me, WIFM. Let me tell you what's in it for you. Here are some of the benefits for you. It is a seamless upsell opportunity. You already have that client in front of you. It increases your compensation. How does $800 per client sound? It's going to address a major client concern. How am I going to pay for my funeral expenses? I don't want my family to tap into their savings, their retirement, put my funeral on a credit card and rack up debt. Another benefit is that you can sell this product all year long. What you'll find is when you're selling Medicare, and for those of you who are seasoned in this business, you know that the work that you do in October, November, December, you're not getting paid until after the first of the year. The business that you submit October, November, December, you're going to get paid before the year's end most of the time. Most of the companies will pay on a daily basis. Once the policy is in force, you get paid. So you can sell it all year long. Most of your clients are going to qualify for a benefit, and these benefits are going to be better than what they see advertised on television. The Colonial Pens, the AARPs, the Globe Lifes that are out there. It's also going to increase your client retention, which we talked about. The trust that they have in you, in your team. It's going to increase your client referrals because now you're offering life insurance. You can now help their daughters, their sons, their in laws, their children, their grandchildren, and everyone else that they know. It's going to increase the referrals. So when you work with those kids and their adult children, and then they age into Medicare, guess what? They're calling you. And the nice thing about final expense is that there's minimal training involved. It's very simple product to sell. Rates are locked in, never going to increase. The coverage is going to be fully guaranteed as long as the premiums are paid. They're not going to get you an I gotcha. They're not going to get any surprise letter. It's there in black and white. It's there for when they pass away. What's in it for the client? You're providing them with personalized advice. It's not a transaction, it's a relationship. You've now gone from just having the blinders for Medicare into now becoming a one stop shop. You have the ability to offer final expense, you have the ability to offer annuities, long term care, traditional life. Other senior ancillary products. You're expanding and you're becoming a jack of all trades, and you can be the master of all of them too because of your partnership with URL. It's a streamlined process when it comes to final expense. Most of these companies are going to give you an underwriting decision right then and there. You can do a phone application, you can do a digital application online by logging into the agent portal. It's a streamlined process. You have to believe and you have to understand that it is going to provide your clients with a financial peace of mind. It's easy to apply, easy to qualify. It's affordable. You're customizing a plan that's going to meet their needs. And it's got guaranteed benefits. It's not one of these things where every couple of years that rate's going to go up. They're going to be able to lock in the rate for the rest of their life. How do you transition from Medicare to final expense? Yes, there is compliance. When you're sitting down and you're meeting with somebody about Medicare, you have to wait 48 hours before you can talk to them about other products and services that you offer. Now we've made it a little bit simpler, and you can actually download the handout. We have handouts here where you can download it. The first handout is the client questionnaire. This kind of goes under the same idea behind when you go to the doctor. When you go to the doctor, you go to the receptionist, you sign in or whatever, they're going to hand you a clipboard and they're going to ask you a series of questions. It's fact finding. It's looking to see what's going on with your life. The same thing with this is a client questionnaire. Use it with your clients. I highly encourage you to do it. It's for any line of business, but it is going to be able to help you prioritize who needs what and who do you circle back to first. So it's going to ask you the purpose of our meeting today, and this is the client filling it out for your records. And then it's going to ask about more about you on a scale of 1 to 5, being 5 being most important, 1 being not very important or not applicable. It's going to say, or it's going to ask, I want to ensure that I have the most cost-effective Medicare plan program available. I want to learn more about ways to protect my income or my paycheck. I want to explore my options about wealth transfer and leaving a legacy. I am concerned about future nursing home assisted living costs. I am concerned about end of life funeral expenses and leaving debt. That's a final expense opportunity there. I have life insurance and want to review my coverage. I do not have life insurance and want to explore my options. I'd like to get information about health insurance under 65, dental insurance, vision, etc. You see, it covers all the bases that your partnership with URL can provide support and guidance and expertise. So you don't have to be an expert. You don't have to have a license in all these areas either. We do have a referral program here called our Orion program, where it's a commission split and you have the ability to hand it over to us. We'll work with you, side by side with you, helping your client get the coverage that they want, providing them the peace of mind that they deserve, and then we split the commission. So we have ways that you can readdress this client questionnaire. I encourage everybody on this webinar today, download that form. There's also a cross-selling form that thanks the client, or an email, or I'm sorry, a letter that you can mail out to your clients, thanking them for entrusting you with their Medicare, and then transitioning into a conversation about final expense coverage and why it's important to have that conversation. You see, when you're talking about Medicare and transitioning from Medicare to final expense, you're highlighting the fact that you've already customized and enrolled the client in a Medicare plan, that the two of you have come together and decided, yes, this is our best plan. Now is the opportunity to highlight the affordability and the benefits of a final expense plan. Here's what you say. You're going to say, now that we've reviewed, or now that we've taken care of your Medicare coverage, it could be 48 hours later, it could be a month later. Now that we've reviewed your Medicare, ask these questions. Are you aware that Medicare does not cover funeral costs? I think most people know that, but you're asking rhetorical questions. Yes, I'm aware. So I need to ask you, if you would have passed away last night, who in your family, who in your circle would be responsible for your funeral arrangements? They'll probably tell you their son, their daughter, in-laws, grandkids, whatever. Somebody trusts, brother, sister, whoever it is. You're going to follow up and say, are they financially prepared to cover these costs? And some people are going to say, well, I have savings. Well, understand that savings accounts are locked up in probate, and there's taxes. Where life insurance benefits are paid to the client, to the beneficiary, I mean, tax-free, avoids probate. There's companies that'll pay a benefit within 48 hours, companies like Mutual of Omaha. So if you died last night, who today is going to be making those phone calls to plan your funeral? Are they financially prepared? Some people haven't even given it a thought as to how much a funeral costs. If people want to be cremated, it can range anywhere from 5 to 7,000, depends on how elaborate of a memorial service. If they want a memorial service, if they want their urn buried, we have some people that want to be buried full, where they're embalmed, casket, that whole thing. That can range anywhere from 10, 12, 15,000 or more. For some of our clients, for a lot of our clients, that's a lot of money. For their family, that's a lot of money. And who is responsible for paying for that? Technically, if you ask me, it's the if they have final wishes that they want carried out, it's up to them to pay for it. How do they do it? The most cost effective way to do it is through a final expense plan. Going into, now that we've reviewed your Medicare, have you given it much thought about how your final expenses would be handled? People can use a final expense policy to leave a little bit of money for their grandkids. There's a lot to be said. I'm a grandparent myself. There's a lot to be said for that love between a grandparent and a grandchild. I would leave everything to my grandkids, everything, um, life insurance included. Asking your way to the sale. It's important that you do that, asking them questions that are going to open up the doors and taking them down the path of buying and getting that peace of mind through a final expense plan. Would it help you sleep a little bit easier knowing that your final expense plans have been taken care of? Let them talk. Would you be interested in looking into a plan that locks in a rate and guarantees your protection for the rest of your life? Now, you're going to get some people that are going to say, I'm not interested, or now is not a good time. There's never a good time. Life insurance, final expense insurance is not interesting. When somebody says to me, I'm not interested, of course not. I'm not interested in life insurance either. It's boring. But here's what it does for you. Here's what it does for your family. I've seen too many people go without it, and it is a nightmare. Let your family focus on the family when you pass away and not have to worry about finances. You're going to get some pushback if you don't have a final expense plan in place. What alternative option do you have that's going to pay for your final expenses? What other option are you going to use? Oh, I'm going to put it into my savings account. Money in the savings, taxed, probate. And let's say the person was socking away $100 a month. They die 3 months later. There's $300 there, maybe a little bit of change, a couple cents for the interest. They put $100 a month into a final expense plan. Maybe that's going to buy them a $10 or a $15,000 benefit. $300 for $15,000 sounds like a win to me, right? And it avoids probate, avoids taxes. A final expense plan is based on a whole life insurance policy. There are companies where the benefits will start at around $5,000. There's companies that'll start lower than that. And a lot of them cap out around 35,000. We do have companies that'll go up to 40 or 50,000. The nice thing, because this is streamlined, there's no medical exams, there's no medical records. You can do a digital application, get an underwriting decision right then and there. It's very easy for the client to qualify. A lot of these companies are now baking in some different benefits: living benefits, critical, chronic, terminal illness benefits, member benefits, terminal illness benefits. There's different additional benefits that can be thrown in there now. Rates never increase. It's not like the garbage that they're seeing advertised on TV. The coverage starts right away. Coverage never cancels as long as the premiums are paid. The client doesn't have to reapply. They don't have to requalify. They qualified when they were younger, when they're healthier, maybe when they're 65, 66, and then they're now 86 years old. They still have the plan based on their age and the rate that they were paying when they were 80 or when they were 65 or 66. Who are some of our top final expense companies right now? The list here kind of encompasses most of them. Transamerica Mutual of Omaha. There's Aflac, Liberty Bankers Life, Foresters, Royal Neighbors, Citizens, and Gerber Life. Gerber is guaranteed issue. Seca Life is guaranteed issue. Um, a lot of these companies have very liberal underwriting requirements. So, and you look at companies like Transamerica, Mutual of Omaha, Aflac. There's also Aetna, CVS. Those are household names. People know who they are. But some of these other companies like Foresters, Royal Neighbors, Liberty Bankers, they're like, who? There's other benefits, which is why they're attractive to people. They haven't heard of a lot of these benefits or these companies because they rely on you to market them and promote them. Clients need to be careful, and you need to let them beware of these wolves in sheep's clothing that can be done over the phone or online where they're not building a relationship. These companies are order takers, folks. Don't be an order taker. Customize, build a relationship. It will pay off in the long run. So hopefully by now you've downloaded the client questionnaire form. You've downloaded the sample letter that you can send out to your clients. Make it your own. Absolutely, make it your own. Send it to people. Don't let another advisor work with your client. You've taken the time, you've spent the money, you have taken, you've put in the effort to make them a client of yours. What I have seen is Medicare agents not selling final expense. A final expense agent comes in, talks to your Medicare client, and then they circle back around and now they become their Medicare client as well. You've lost that client. Don't let another person get in there and poach your client. Be the trusted advisor that they deserve. This is stuff that you can be doing right now, right here and now, before the end of the day today, getting all the ducks in a row that before AEP starts, heck, even before the end of this month, you could be out there. You're going to make mistakes. Make those mistakes and fumble and bumble so that by the time you get to AEP and after AEP, you will now become a seasoned veteran at this, and you'll see that your income average per client $800 per client. And I've talked to some of you, and I know that some of you have client lists, a book of business with thousands of clients. You'll find that about 20% of your clients will take you up on a final expense plan. Start offering that final expense protection. You're going to be able to make an impact, not just on Medicare, but just in the livelihood of the families that you're serving as well. And don't let your clients figure out their final expenses alone. So here are the steps. Hopefully you'll take them. You can get this done and get this started today. Get appointed with your selected carriers. I provided some of our top companies, the Transamericas, the Mutual of Omahas, Foresters, Gerber, and so on. Once you add those selected carriers, review the product features. I'll get notified of the carriers. I will forward you everything that you need, and then just start asking for the sale. Get dialed into some of our final expense training. We have a final expense closers clinic that explains and shows you how to sell final expense. Offer it as an additional service that you provide. Don't let somebody else get in there. Offer it as an additional service. Lean on URL. And if you don't have a life license or you don't have the time, it's just it's outside of your scope right now. I understand. We have the Orion referral program. Utilize it. You'll still make money on it. You're still serving the client, and the client is still yours. And download those resources. Start using them right away. I love questions, so please, if you have any questions, ask those questions of me now while we've got you. You can also contact me directly at 717 216 8041. That's my phone number, 717 216 8041. And my email address is matta@urlinsgroup.com. Utilize the resources. Make sure that you are helping your clients build a relationship with them. Don't turn this into a transaction and let the client um, and feed the client to the wolves. You have the ability to serve your clients, provide that peace of mind, and I encourage you to lean on URL. We're here to help you with that. So with that, I'm not seeing any questions. So either I did a really good job or I put you all to sleep. But either way, appreciate your time today. If you need me, 717-216-8041 or email is matta@urlinsgroup.com. Thanks again, everybody. Take care, be well, and we'll talk soon. Bye for now.